on the vote to stay in, to start with, here's a quote from Stephen Hawking. He says that leaving the EU would be a disaster for science. He and 150 scientists have all agreed on this. Another quote from Paul Newton, a Nobel laureate, says, "Two-thirds of the scientists from overseas at my institution are from Europe, and it would be more difficult for scientists to come from Europe. If we turn our back on Europe, Europe will turn on us." Funding-wise, we were given 6.75 billion in research grants by the EU versus our 14 billion, which we got between the same time of 2007 to 2013. Next is the matter of immigration. Statistically, you'll find that immigrants will find a job no matter what it is, usually on low pay end, and that just start making a living. Also, if we were to leave Europe, it is possible that we could be flooded with all the migrants that have been in Europe. For example, all those in Calais. Some of the laws that the EU implements to help us with our holiday pay as well as our environmental protection. With that protection, make sure our water, air, and nature are all up to the highest standards. For holiday pay, it also protects workers' rights, though we already had holiday pay before joining, but now more protection by the EU provides a guarantee. Now, voting to leave the EU. To start with, a quote from Nigel Farage: "We have fewer GPs than any other country in Europe today. This is most likely due to the fact that the NHS is overworked and understaffed. Considering the influx of new people, plus the doctor shortage, immigration is also hurting the rest of the public services, including schools and councils, so facing a housing crisis. This can be put into a few reasons. First, the costs of buying a house and renting are too expensive, and secondly, a large amount of competitors in the housing market. Economically speaking, we give a colossal amount of money each day to Europe, to the European Union, 55 million. Though, thanks to the rebate, we actually get to come to 35 million to Europe. Even then, it's still too much. All this to access the common market and get free trade. If we were to leave and lose our free trade, there's no way of knowing we would have to pay more or less in the long run, though I doubt it would reach 35 million a day. The reasons people believe all our laws are made in Europe is that the government can defend them in the Europe Council of Justice, and for the government, they were to vote democratically. To be able to lose at deciding your own laws should be an inconceivable idea. It shouldn't be possible.